Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Moose Minute Project on a Tuesday morning. Very cool. I heard that we broke the all-time low record for around the area, or a current record of minus 25 degrees this morning. Some people called into the radio station this morning up by Hub. They were at minus 33 this morning. And with the little bit of wind we had, it's dang cold. So, is it really good? That's the title today of the Moose Minute Project. Got questioned yesterday on my beliefs, where I think I guess I was diagnosed with TDS and MDS. It's funny how people come up with titles of syndromes and whatever else you may have. So TDS and MDS is what I've been given the title of having, which I would say I suffer from none of the above. I think if you were going to diagnose me with something is that ISTBS. Yeah, ISTBS. That's what I have. I see through bullshit. That's what it is, versus the MDS of Musk's delusional syndrome or Trump's dumb shit syndrome or whatever else that people want to label me as. So I can label them then. If you don't label them and you just give me initials, like they used to do with the Ford thing and Dodge thing and stuff. So if people just message me and say, hey, Chris, you have MDS or you have TDS. I may have IBS from all of this as well. But yeah, ISTBS is what I think I have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If you're trying to tell me it's okay that Elon Musk, who we did not elect or put into office, he bought his way into the Oval Office, and when you're the richest man on the earth, I guess you can do that. And then he's just given the right to fire whoever the hell he wants to fire. I have family members that work in the Pentagon. I have family members in the government scenario there. Yep, I have some family members that graduated high school, but that's all the education they had. But they worked their career for 40 years. I also have people as myself that have just a 4-year degree. I also have masters in my family. And what's interesting is that a lot of them all still believe what I believe. So if you're going to call or message me, and it's not even calling, nobody even has the balls enough to say it in front of your face. They just write it out on a comment somewhere on your Facebook page of that you have, MDS and TDS and whatever the hell else initials they come up with. I will have a response for you. And due to the fact that this is my page and that I can do live whenever I wish, but when you approach me that I am ignorant, I am stupid, I'm uneducated, my head is up my ass and buried in sand, and that I have MDS and TDS, which I then can come up with my own initials or descriptions of those, which it's funny that the right-wing MAGA has these imaginary syndromes, and they're okay with Elon Musk going into the Social Security office and getting all of our Social Security numbers and all of our tax information, and they're okay with that, even though he's really not. Do you think he's doing it to really save us money? If you really think he's in that Oval Office and into that department, who none of us voted in, maybe you guys that voted for the Trump side feel that it's okay because he's bringing him along. In 4 years, I'm waiting to hear the response of, because I guarantee you, if the Democrats would have started this, and did what Trump's doing today, you guys would have had, let's see, HSF. Yeah, HSF. Holy shit fit. Okay? If you would have been on that side and heard what he's doing now with this Yahoo, yes, I get it. He's a multi-billionaire, the richest man on the planet, and you go, well, he's a really good businessman. Look at how rich he is. There's a whole lot of frickin' people that have scammed people out of money that become really rich too. There's a lot of drug dealers that are really rich too. So just because you're really rich doesn't mean your heart and your mind is in the right place. And please do not tell me that you are a Christian is why you believe that this is all good. He has disowned his transgender daughter. LGBTQ is going by the wayside. I could give two craps if you are gay, straight, bisexual, black, white, old. I could care less. If you treat me well, I treat you well. That's just how it works. I will help you across the street no matter what, as long as you've helped me across the street or been there to support me. I'll be there to support you as well. So the funny part is it started with a statement to a band teacher I had in high school. And yes, I don't agree with everything he says. But I respect him, A, because my mom always told me to respect my elders. B, I respect him because he is an educated man. And yes, he has a lot of hatred going on. But he's also gone through a lot of medical things and survived a lot of things that most of us would have given up on life on. So he's okay to have his feelings. And he's okay to say them. Everybody does. Just like those that attack him and said he doesn't know shit or he's for whatever. That is where I struggle. If you don't like what someone says, there's a magical thing that happens on your phone. You go, and you scroll. Just like if you don't like what I'm talking about right now, if you don't like what I'm saying right now, swipe. That's as simple as that. I don't know why it's so hard. But yet, when somebody hears that somebody makes a comment about Mr. Trump or Mr. Musk, all of a sudden they need to comment that you are a dumb shit, or you don't know anything, or you have now, and like I said, I got told I had TDS. I had to look it up. I didn't quite know what I had. And I didn't know the guy that was just giving me the, thing. I didn't know he was a doctor recently. And MDS. So I'm thinking, well, okay, I'll have to go look into these things. It's kind of funny how these kind of titles come out from the MAGA movement. I know Republicans and I am friends with Republicans. But if you belong and you post MAGA in big capital letters, like, ooh, look at me, I lose interest. The other thing I struggle with is vets and sheriff's departments that were backing Mr. Trump on this being a draft dodger, when I was raised, dodging the draft was the biggest no-no. You were unforgiven for what you did because you should have went and answered the call of duty. Nobody else had choices. I have a teacher in high school that didn't have a choice, and he was in one of the worst firefights over there, and I respect him immensely. So he has a right to have his hatred towards that man, just as if anybody else that's a vet has a right to have that as a draft dodger. But somehow this all got pushed by the wayside, and it's easier to call people names, and it's easier to degrade people and give them titles because we are MAGA. Yeah, making America great again. Tell me that to all of the people that are losing their jobs under no description or understanding just because they belonged to a certain department or they were looking into somebody's past. If you belong to a company that all of a sudden just walked in, you know, and yes, it happens to the ones and twosy people. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about thousands of people. You just send out a text message or a voicemail saying, sorry, you are no longer employed. And I don't think these people understand what a lot of these people did. It's going to play out. Yep. And then there's this thing now that's started called a Doge clock that is showing us how much money that these guys are saving. Has anybody asked where the hell all these savings are going? Where's that money going then? Because if I was told right, it all belongs to us. So where does that money go? I don't know. It's interesting. Nobody asked that question. They're just like, ooh, he saved $100 billion. When the last one, so in 2 days, because I looked back in it after I was told there was a Doge clock because I didn't know. Again, there was brought up to me too. Look at this clock. And I'm like, well, who enters that data? And that silenced everything for some reason in that conversation. I mean, I could start the Moose Minute clock on the amount of people that spend their life listening to me ramble. And it could be 60,000. I think that's a good number. 60,000 people listen to me every morning. Who puts the information in? And then, how do you know that you're saving $100 billion when you've cut what? Couple thousand, 3,000, 13,000, 14,000, 20,000 jobs. So the money that those people were going to spend are now scrambling to figure out their life. Oh, and by the way, some people that were fired shouldn't have been fired because they took the buyout. So now they're scrambling to get that figured out and how to pay these people. And then they fired a bunch of people that work in our nuclear portions of it, that they're now trying to get hired back because they didn't realize that those people that they fired kind of took care of all of that and inspected our nuclear warheads. And I don't know if anybody else on this place or this channel understands how important nuclear warheads are and how we should probably keep track of them or at least inspect them. I'm just curious. If you're a vet, and I never signed up for service, but every one of you that have served this country or was part of it, thank you. I truly evaluate and appreciate everything you've done for us. And if you've put boots on other soil besides the U.S., I really thank you, because that's another step. If you have put on a sheriff's badge or a police badge or anything, thank you. If you've worked for an ambulance crew, EMT, yep, you've been part of my life too. I've been hauled in an ambulance twice. Both times could have been a bad outcome. And there's probably some people that say, that might not have been if he'd have shut up for a bit. And I did shut up for a bit. But I'm tired of shutting up, because before I had a long fuse. I could just let it burn and burn and burn. I'm getting tired now. I'm 50. I'm starting to see the other side of retirement at some point, hopefully. And I'm tired. And I'm tired of these people that feel because I don't support the current presidency. And yes, the left before, I didn't approve with everything either. But it was sure as hell more stable than what we have now. And if you run the deficit numbers, look at them. Take a true look at the numbers. And then also take a look at who's going to be affected by Medicare, Medicaid, anything else that they get their hands on. By the way, I did see in his recent tax things that the overtime thing didn't get put on there. The tips thing did not get put on there. And that's what he promised? Yeah, damn it. I don't know what to say about that. Sorry, I guess. I think a lot of people had hoped for great things. And I went to the grocery store again, and he said day one, I think we're past day one. Yeah, them prices aren't going down, and no, nor they are going to. And gas prices went back up again here. I know it's February and it's cold, and they haven't done their summer fuel blends or anything like that. And the gas station, the gas prices really aren't controlled by him anyway. Let's face it. I tried to tell people that 3 terms ago when nobody wanted to listen. The presidency does nothing with gas prices, period. Okay? They are set by themselves. Now, there are a few things that he could take care of, such as Big Pharma and bringing our medications to a reasonable, for us that are on medications. They could definitely do that. There's a few other things that I think Wisconsin could jump on board with, and that's legalizing marijuana. I bounced in bars for a long time. I worked with, I did a lot of ride-along hours with a great canine officer and great crew out of Mille Lacs. Marijuana didn't seem to be the problem. When I was bouncing, I was hoping that a lot of guys were on marijuana at the time because they just bopped to the music. They ordered French fries and things like that and had a good time with their beer and their stuff. They were never feisty. They never wanted to fight. Just leave them alone. Let them watch the music and do that stuff. And yes, I used it at the time. Hey, marijuana is a good thing. And if the state approves it here, they could tax it. And it's one less person that my kid has to screw with. Let's worry about the real hard problems, and then let's figure out solutions to build more shit, like prisons and jails more, and staff and pay them well to lock up all these meth, crystal meth, cocaine, fentanyl, the things that he's saying is really important, sitting in the Oval Office, that we're going to have to control coming through Canada and Mexico. Even though we have airspace, that's another problem. I'm not flying for a while either. I don't know what's going on, but no, count me out flying for a while. I'll drive. So when you start making these promises, and as you can tell, I'm not worked up about it. I'm quite fine. I mean, no wonder that he's threatening to, arrest those from 60 Minutes because, like, Elon is pissed off at 60 Minutes because of things they publish or say. Reporters and late night comedians, they're all supposed to go to jail or something because they make people laugh and they make people have a good time at their expense, and they don't like that. See, I've learned a lot of things. I don't want to become a billionaire because they lose their sense of humor. Plus, they have a lot of wives and ex-wives, and I don't need any of that. Okay, I have one. That's enough ex-wives. I have a current wife. She'd probably like if I had $1 billion. And then, out of nowhere, they have kids that they just all of a sudden learned about, even though the kid was born, a few months ago. I don't want to become a billionaire. I've learned that. A millionaire might not be so bad. I could control that. I could probably hand out some things to my kids to make them survive better. They'd still have to work for it. I've already said that if they win the lottery. They would have to have a degree, and then they would have to have a current job for at least 5 years before they would get any money. It was kind of a rule my wife and I made when we were buying lottery tickets. That if we ever won it big, that's the things that would be there would be parameters for our kids. So, that's where we're at. So that was all the things today. And then update. I had the weirdest thing. My wife lost her husband before we met. And she would have dreams meeting him by this creek. And they would talk back and forth. And I always thought it was weird. But I understood it. Loss of a significant other. 2 nights ago, I had that with my mom. Roxanne and I came home, and my mom was sitting on our couch in our living room. And I had a conversation about all the things going on. And she told me, it will be okay, Chris. You'll get through it. So I am trying to figure out the best scenario to get through some of that. I agree, Tim. Thank you for that comment. I agree. No doubt that they need to do the work to pay for their stay. They need to either be going to classes. They can't just sit and work out every day. Totally agree with you on that. There's no problem with me on that at all. They can, I think the guy in Texas, that sheriff in Texas has it figured out. You fence in a big tent city, and if it's 105 and you get to wear pink uniforms and flip-flops, bring back the chain gangs again. There's plenty of, filling potholes, especially in Wisconsin. I mean, we can fill potholes all day, and it's because the only thing they seem to do. They don't want to tear up a whole road. So thanks for tuning in today. It's been a long-winded one, but after the barrage yesterday, there's plenty of things we can do better. So have a great day. I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning again, same time as I head into work. But truly do appreciate each and every one of you that tunes into this and watches this. And also, they're reposted on YouTube. I think I'm over 100 and some there. I think right at around 150 videos on YouTube right now. You can go over to my YouTube page and subscribe there if you would like, and then you get them all updated as well. But thank you again. And to each and every one of you, thank you. And if, like I said before, if you want to help sponsor my mom's tournament November 8th, Tim, you have done that. I appreciate you very much for that. Message me. I can get together. And truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. So I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. And I'll go work on my TDS and MDS and IBS. Yeah. That's what I'll go work on, those things right now to get myself healthy. We'll talk soon. See you in the morning. And as always, take time to bless somebody's day today.